Hello guys, what's up and welcome to the SketchUpArchStudio. In this tutorial we will talk about professional kitchen rendering in Enscape for SketchUp. So before we start this tutorial, please touch the like and subscribe. Let's get to work. I'm gonna click on the Q1 in here as my scene in SketchUp. So I will click on the Enscape material library and material editor. So we have only some few materials about dark gray, white, high glass, and some other things like that. So I'm gonna start my job with clicking on the Start Enscape. So I'm gonna click on it. It will take a little bit time, and after that, Enscape will load for us. So in this render and in this tutorial, we will completely talk about lighting and how we can manage our interior lights. So this is the preview of my render. So I'm going to press F. I'm going to click on the Q1, click on the edit, and this is the simple setting for my camera. You can save it and use it at the next renders. So I'm going to press save in here, close it. My save frame is on. And now I'm gonna minimize the Enscape at the right side and SketchUp in the left side. So I need some hidden lights in this part of my job, so it's a little bit too dark for me. When I click on the Q1 in SketchUp and zoom a little bit near to my model, you can see some wheat cream color in here as the hidden line, and it's my hidden light. So I'm gonna click on the Enscape material editor. We have some material which name is Nawojo White. So I'm going to change the type of it from generic to the self illuminate. And now this is the result that we have in here. But the color is not satisfying. So I'm going to click on the albedo part, color, advance, and select these code in here. Control C, click on the color, advance, Control V, and press enter. As you see that it's very simple and easy job for the beginners, and you can increase the intensity of it immediately. Very simple and easy, but it's a little bit too burnout. So I will reduce it to some number about 6,600 candela per meter, or maybe some number about 6,000 can be enough for me. The roughness is about 0, and I'm gonna close it. So click on the Q1 and come back to your environmental job in here. We have some type of spotlights in this part of our model. When I click on it, click on the Enscape objects. I can recall all of them from my folder. For example, if I click on the load IES profile, I can add many type of profiles in here, and you can download it below this video, the link of the IES profiles in here. So I'm going to close it, it's not important, but I can change the luminance intensity. So when I increase it a little bit, you can see the effects on it in our environment. This part of my wall will be burned, and it's not really good. So try to use some decay number about 800 candela. It's a normal number for it because lighting is really important. So everything about the lighting is done. Now we want to reselect our render and try to improve the quality of it. So maximize the Enscape in here, click on the visual setting. My save frame is on, so I can play with the field of view to zoom out or zoom in on my targets. For example, 46-degree horizontal is really good. So I'm going to turn on the depth of field, turn off the autofocus, move this window bar in here, and I'm gonna play with the focal point, I think. So some bright line in our render in here will be appear for us. And I want to focus on this part of my kitchen as the main part of the design. 7.50 is enough, and I think it's good. So depth of field is a little bit too high value for it, 27%. I will change it to the 9%. Now we have some normal focus and flow on our render. Outline can be useful because in the white kitchen renders and white designs of the MDF, you need a little bit lines to separate all of them in your render. Not too much, for example, 4%. It can be a factor in your render at the final job. Exposure is not really important right now, but we will come back to it. So I'm going to click on the image bar, turn on the auto contrast, and I have some problem with the color temperature and saturation of this render. So I will increase the saturation a little bit, about 104 or 6, and color temperature can be decreased a little bit, about 5600 Kelvin. Motion blur is 0. Lens flare is not really important. Bloom is 0 because I need some sharp render in interior design. 26% for the lens flare is enough, and bloom is about 4%, not too much. Vignette can be increased a little bit to create these effects in your shot. For example, 56% is enough. Chromatic aberration is 0. Atmosphere will be turned off. Sun brightness not important. Night sky not important. Shadow sharpness completely 0 because we need some soft shadows. And artificial light brightness. Alright, all of these spotlights is the artificial light brightnesses. So we can add some more power to all of them with the artificial light brightness. How we can do this job? I'm going to click on the visual setting, move it in here, atmosphere, and if I increase the artificial light brightness in here, you can see what will happen in your render, and your main part of your kitchen will be completely bright, and then the other sides, but I prefer to use 102% for it because it's enough for me. Ambient brightness is the hyperlight in Lumia. So in the Enscape, when you increase the ambient brightness, some places like this part of your render will be get more brighter. So 84% is good. Wind is 0. Sky is about white ground, but density, variety, iris amount, and count rays, all of them is turned off. Output is about full HD. I can change it to the ultra HD, and I will come back to the main bar, and now I can play with the exposure, for example 58%. Now we have some good material in here. Everything is done, and now I only have some work with these wood materials in here. So I'm going to click on the Enscape material editor, go to the Enscape near to these woods in here, and I think I need some change in the texture settings. So I can click on the albedo, select it, albedo, and now you can use the rotation to create some type of, for example, 90-degree texture rotation in here, something like that. Now it's much better, much realistic, and the widths and whites is not really important. About the roughness, you can increase the roughness or you can decrease it to create some reflective surfaces. 5.4 is enough. But in the image fade, I can reduce the number of it and convert it to the white tint color, something like that. It can be really valuable in here because we can create some normal texts and maps in here. 84% is enough for it. I don't need many type of normal maps on it, so 44% is enough, and I think everything is good. So time for the rendering. I'm going to close it, maximize the Enscape, press F, Q1 selected for me, and now I'm going to click on the Enscape material editor and visual setting, reduce the exposure a little bit to the 54, and the rendering quality is on the ultra. Everything is good. Depth of field can be reduced to the 7%. Focal point is 7.56, and I think everything is done. In the output, everything is checked out, and now I'm going to click on the screenshot in here, save it on my desktop as the kitchen rendering, and press save. It will take a little bit time, and it completely depends on your graphic card and your system config, but the final result is completely realistic than the other type of softwares. SketchUp is one of the suitable softwares for modeling kitchen, and Enscape is one of the easiest motor renderings for architecture and interior designers. So the final result will be in the 10, 9, 8, 7, and I think it's down for us. So 90, and it's, I think, over. So I can right click, refresh, and kitchen rendering in here. And this is the final result for our job. If you like this tutorial, please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, thanks for your time, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, don't forget it, and goodbye.